Hi, I'm Jared. This is our crash course, and today we're going to talk about Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. So Rosencrantz and Guildenstern has a pretty interesting plot that draws you in right from the beginning. Tom Stoppard expands on two minor characters from Shakespeare's Hamlet, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, who we're going to call Roz and Gil for short, who almost seem to be two halves of one character. Both of them are constantly confused, and a lot of nonsense ensues with the events of Hamlet happening in the background. The absurdist and existential tragic comedy by Tom Stoppard was the first national production to transfer to Broadway, where the New York Times described it as very funny, very brilliant, and very chilling, crowning it with glory. Now let's take a deeper look at the plot. So along their journey, they run into a troupe of actors led by the player, who offers to act out a play for them, to which they refuse, opting for a bet instead. The scene quickly changes with Roz and Gil in Hamlet's castle, as Claudius reveals to them that they are there to discover what has happened to Hamlet and his weird behavior. Roz and Gil play a game of question and answer in order to prepare what they will ask Hamlet, but they just end up confused and bewildered, which sets a precedent for their confusion throughout the play. The player returns to the play and has his troupe rehearse their own play, which parallels Claudius's rise to power in Hamlet. Shortly after, Roz and Gil learn that Hamlet has killed Polonius and they must transport him to England. On the boat to England, Roz and Gil are once again clueless and confused. Reading the letter given to them, the two realize that they are sending Hamlet to his death. However, Hamlet switches the letter out while they are attacked by pirates, making Roz and Gil the ones that will die, further confusing them and referencing to the title of the play that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. Written in 1966, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern creates a theme of being unable to understand the world by having the two main characters in a constant state of confusion. The play consists of a lot of nonsense and confusion, which creates prevalent senses of randomness and absurdity within both the play and the audience. One case of this that we're going to talk about in our crash course is the flipping of the coins at the beginning of the play. This causes the audience to search for their own conclusions to their questions, if a conclusion is even possible.
Hey, what's up, guys? My name's Orlando. Talking about Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead today. All right, so Rosencrantz and Guildenstern are dead. It talks about the world's primary fundamental mystery that is occurring in the play as it proceeds. Throughout the play, Rosencrantz and Guildenstern lack the basic knowledge of their identities and their ultimate meaning of their life throughout the play. So this caused them to go through this entire play in total confusion. So they're just very confused. The play begins with confusion as that both Rosencrantz and Guildenstern don't know their destination or where they're going of their journey, or even how they even started their journey. So it's like they're always confused. This happens throughout the play until their last moments lead to their ultimate deaths. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern really don't and cannot seem to understand the world around them, which is their confusion. So this shows that their bad confusion is motivated by the sheer randomness of the universe. And this is illustrated by the continuous coin tossing game of the part of the story that is at the beginning throughout the middle of the play, and so on. All right, so it's also motivated by the misunderstanding of the other characters that just come in and say a short statement or sentence to them, and then leaves the scene, which leaves them in more confusion. Those stories based on Rosencrantz and Guildenstern's comedic confusion, the characters occasionally become so mad and frustrated from the world's own confusion and mystery, that they fall into this depression and despair throughout the play. The play ultimately shows that between primary role of probability in our lives, coupled with the difficult and misunderstood of the true intentions of other characters in our lives, really leads to a paralyzing confusion for these characters throughout the play. And so we're going to go on to illustrate the coin tossing of the play and how it motivates their confusion throughout the play.
So I'm Julian, and I'm going to be talking about the coin part of the book, the play. So in this portion of the crash course, the coin represents a significant part in the play. Gil flipping the coin at the beginning of the play symbolized the randomness of the world and the play's exploration of oppositional forces. After the pattern of the coin landing on heads up defines the expectation of the laws of probability actually do work, and that the word makes clear sense. But instead, the coin suggests that the world is ruled by randomness and occurrence of highly improbable events. The point made by the coin is reiterated by the way that Rosencrantz gets caught up in a string of improbable events. From the perspective at least, occurring entirely at random and makes no sense whatsoever. So randomness often occurs in the play, and it's contrasted by determinism, the notion that the events happen according to some unbreakable plan. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern feel that they can stop the coin from landing heads up, but when it comes down to it, they really can't. It's kind of like how they can control what's going on in their play. Although the coin lands heads up so many times, it seems like the coin is one-sided, but in actually reality, it's two-sided. But in the play, that's not really the case. The coin lands up on heads multiple times, and showing that randomness kind of does not occur in this world, and it's like it's not natural like in reality.
All right, guys. So if there's anything we want you to remember about this video from this crash course, is that Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, although appearing random and silly on the outside, the randomness contains a deeper meaning of life, essentially. So Ross and Gil, their names, lack of identity and constant confusion throughout the play represents our, as a species, human race, lack of understanding in our own lives that each of us represents individually. So this theme of the mystery, that is the world, gives us a deeper insight into the randomness of our own lives and our own confusion. So just talking about it, so like each individual has their own confusion in a different way. So like theirs was their identities through the coin game and stuff. Yours can be different. Mine is different. Everybody's is different. And that's just how it shows as a theme for individuals. It's different. But this is the overall theme of everybody's. Everybody has a randomness and confusion on the outside that no one else understands. So just thinking about it through this whole story, they are confused, and this shows that individually everybody is. So this concludes our crash course, and we hope you enjoyed and learned a little bit from this video. Please subscribe. Thanks for watching. See you next time.